Hello everyone, welcome to my channel DTL Learning. I am Ranjita and I am going to give you the b.ed notes of semester 4 paper optional, that is guidance and counseling. इसके यूनिट 3 टूल्स टेक्निक ऑफ गाइडेंस एंड काउंसलिंग, यूनिट 1 और यूनिट 2 मैं आपको ऑलरेडी दे चुकी हूँ. ये हमारा लास्ट वीडियो है सेमेस्टर 4 का, बिकॉज सेमेस्टर 4 के सारे ही नोट्स हमने कवर अप कर चुके हैं. ये पेपर ऑप्शनल पेपर का लास्ट नोट्स बच गया था जो मैंने आपको अभी दे रही हूँ. ठीक है, सो इसके बाद हमारा सेमेस्टर 4 भी कंप्लीट हो जाएगा एंड देन आई विल बी कंटिन्यूइंग विद द सेमेस्टर 2. ठीक है, ओके. बिफोर वो स्टार्ट सेमेस्टर 2 स्टार्ट करने से पहले कुछ आई थिंक सो B.ed के क्वेश्चन पेपर्स मैं ऑलरेडी डाली हुई हूँ. फर्स्ट सेम के तो ऑलरेडी है. फोर्थ सेम 2021 मीन्स लास्ट ईयर के क्वेश्चन पेपर्स कुछ मुझे मिले हैं, तो वो मैं आप लोग के साथ शेयर करना चाहती हूँ. ठीक है, मैं वो आप लोगों के साथ शेयर कर दूंगी. और कुछ मैंने ऑलरेडी शेयर किया है, एक दो मैंने ऑलरेडी शेयर किया, आप देख सकते हैं मेरे चैनल पे. ठीक है, और उसके जो क्वेश्चन पेपर्स है उसके PDF आपको मेरे टेलीग्राम चैनल पे भी मिल जाएंगे. सो प्लीज़ आप लिंक आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन में मिल जाएगा मेरे टेलीग्राम चैनल का. टेलीग्राम और इंस्टाग्राम दोनों के ही ID उसमें दिए गए हैं. प्लीज़ शो योर सपोर्ट टू दैट ऑल्सो. ठीक है, आप वहाँ से क्वेश्चंस लेकर के देख सकते हो. मैक्सिमम वॉट जितने भी क्वेश्चंस आ रहे हैं ये कुल्हान यूनिवर्सिटी का ही क्वेश्चन पेपर है लास्ट ईयर का, और जितने भी क्वेश्चंस आए हैं सारे के सारे नोट्स हमने कवर अप किए हैं. ठीक है, आप देख सकते हो. ठीक है, सो दिस इज़ द लास्ट पेपर और लास्ट नोट्स ऑफ द लास्ट यूनिट ऑफ सेमेस्टर 4. सो आई लाइक टू टेल यू ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट टू ऑल द सेमेस्टर 4 स्टूडेंट्स जो भी एग्ज़ाम देने वाले हैं. सितंबर लास्ट और अक्टूबर में आपका एग्ज़ाम्स हो ही जाएंगे, जहाँ तक सुन रही हूँ मैं. अक्टूबर तक तो एग्ज़ाम्स हो ही जाएंगे. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा सेशन लेट है बिकॉज ऑफ दिस कोविड एंड ऑल, लॉकडाउन एंड ऑल बोल के, बट इट्स ओके. लास्ट अक्टूबर तक, अक्टूबर के स्टार्टिंग में ही, सितंबर लास्ट या अक्टूबर स्टार्टिंग में आपका एग्ज़ाम्स हो जाएंगे. ठीक है, सो क्वेश्चन पेपर्स आप देख सकते हो. क्वेश्चन पेपर्स भी काफ़ी हेल्पफुल रहेंगे आपके लिए. 2021 के सारे पेपर्स मैं दे दी हूँ. ठीक, सो लेट अस स्टार्ट विदाउट वेस्टिंग एनी टाइम. सेमेस्टर 4 गाइडेंस एंड काउंसलिंग, इसकी यूनिट 3 है, दैट इज टूल्स एंड टेक्निक ऑफ गाइडेंस एंड काउंसलिंग. फर्स्ट कम्स टू द इंडिविजुअल काउंसलिंग. इंडिविजुअल काउंसलिंग और ग्रुप काउंसलिंग के बारे में यहाँ पे देखेंगे. इंडिविजुअल काउंसलिंग क्या होता है? Individual counseling is a personal opportunity to receive support and experience growth during challenging times in life. Individual counseling can help one deal with many personal topics in life, such as anger, depression, anxiety, substance abuse, marriage and relationship challenges, parenting problems, school difficulties, career changes, etc. ठीक है, इंडिविजुअल काउंसलिंग समटाइम्स कॉल्ड एज साइकोथेरेपी, टॉक थेरेपी और ट्रीटमेंट इज अ प्रोसेस थ्रू विच clients work one-on-one with a trained mental health clinician in a safe, caring and confidential environment. या काउंसलिंग में जो भी चीज़, जो भी हमें काउंसल करते हैं और हमारा जो भी डाटा रहता है वो सारे के सारे कॉन्फिडेंशियल रहते हैं. ठीक है, कुछ भी चीज़ यहाँ वहाँ नहीं बताया जाता दैट ये क्लाइंट है जो मेरे पास आ रहे हैं, वो कहीं से भी, वो आप जिसके भी पास में जाएंगे ना काउंसल के लिए, कोई भी आपकी डाटा लीक नहीं कर सकते हैं. ठीक है, सेकेंडली कि ये जो है दिस इंडिविजुअल काउंसलिंग, इट्स अ काइंड ऑफ साइकोथेरेपी, मतलब पर्सनल 1-to-1, एक क्लाइंट और एक काउंसलर पे होता है. ठीक है, काउंसलिंग अलाउज इंडिविजुअल्स टू एक्सप्लोर देयर फीलिंग्स, बिलीव्स एंड बिहेवियर्स, वर्क थ्रू चैलेंजिंग और इन्फ्लुएंशियल मेमोरीज, identify aspects of their lives that they would like to change, better understand themselves and others, set personal goals, and work toward desired change. Individual counseling is counseling focused on the individual's immediate or near future concerns. Individual counseling may encompass career counseling and planning, grief after a loved one dies, or dealing with problem at a job before they become big. Individual counseling is a one-on-one discussion between the counselor and the client, who is a person seeking treatment. The two form on an alliance, relationship or bond that enables trust and personal growth. The advantage of individual counseling are it helps you have a better understanding of your own self and your emotions. It helps you to discover your personal strength and weakness and encourage you attempt at new ways of thinking and behavior. These are the 3 points. You can write it as point wise. Here comes to the first point. यहाँ आपका second point start हो रहा है और यहाँ आपका third point शुरू हो रहा है. ठीक है. So if you'll write it point wise, it will be better for you. मैंने just ऐसे लिख दिया है. So write it down point wise. Okay. Now comes to the group counseling. Group counseling is a form of therapy where people with similar experiences issues come together with a professional therapist. The therapist runs the session, but generally everyone contributes in a some way, listening to others and talking themselves. It's usually focused on a particular issue like anxiety disorder, depression disorder, relationship or marital issues, grief, loss, trauma, self esteem, eating disorders, lack of social skill. One of the main principles behind group counseling is that meeting other people who are dealing with something similar and hearing their story lets people know that they are not alone. बहुत बार ऐसा होता है ना, ये लगता है ना, अरे यार मुझे ही ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है, सिर्फ मुझे ही हो रहा है और किसी को नहीं हो रहा है. सो ग्रुप काउंसलिंग में वो हेल्प करता है बिकॉज यू आर मीटिंग विद द सेम पीपल जिनको आपके जैसा ही कुछ कुछ सिम्टम्स है, कुछ हो रहे हैं सेम. ठीक है. थिंग्स लाइक डिप्रेशन और bereavement can be really isolating and make you feel like you are facing the world alone. Group counseling can be a good way of getting over those feeling of isolation and realizing there are other people in the same boat. Advantage of group counselings: first is the unity. Just knowing there are other people in your community that suffer from the same disorder as you do, who are grieving like you are, who have been through trauma, etc., can be a very powerful tool in recovery and overcoming life obstacles. Trust in therapist. Group counseling helps the participants have trust in their therapist. When patients in group counseling are able to see that the therapist is giving other people the same strategies, telling the same thing to everyone, it makes the therapist or group leader seem more credible. Learning from peers, sometimes it is hard to believe that a therapist can relate to what patients are going through or what they are feeling. When participants are able to connect with others who they can relate to, they are more likely to learn new ways of dealing with their problems and more willing to take advice. Therapists also benefit because they can have an easier time trying to convince someone of a specific strategy if another group member can verify if it was indeed worth it or worked for them. Okay. Now comes to the tools for guidance and counseling. Guidance is the scientific procedure for assisting an individual. Various types of tools and techniques are used for measuring the potentialities of the individual, the guidance purpose. First comes to the blanks. Blanks is a type of format including various points used for collecting data from students and if required from the parents, guardians and doctors. Example: name of the student, name of the school and division, gender, birth date, mother tongue, religion and caste, birthplace, etc. Okay, now comes to the questionnaire. A questionnaire is a list of questions to be answered by an individual or a group of individuals, especially to get facts or information. It should be elaborated to match with other techniques. Questions are designed to get information about conditions and practices about which the respondents are presumed to have the knowledge. The questions in a questionnaire are basically of two types, the closed and the open type. In the open type, questions require the individual to think and write. For example, what is your favorite sport? And the closed type questions require the answer in the form of yes or no or in a limited number of given categories. ठीक है, so दो टाइप के होते हैं, that is the closed and the open questions. Now comes to the cumulative record. A cumulative record is a systematic account of information about a student. It is an evaluation tool which presents a comprehensive record of the achievement or otherwise of each student in different aspects. that is physical, academic, moral, social, and health. Records are maintained from the time the child begins schooling till he finishes it. The relevant information is collected from different sources over a period of time. Now comes to the case study. A case study is defined as a collection of all available information, social, psychological, biographical, environmental, vocational, that promises to help explain a single individual. A case study is a comprehensive collection of information gathered using different tools and techniques of data collection. It is the most important technique and the best method of studying the whole individual. Its purpose is to say positively and with confidence that, as far as possible, all sources of information have been tapped and all kind of data have been gathered about the client. In case study, information about the individual is so organized and combined into a whole that the individual studied is viewed as a dynamic one trying to adjust to the environment in which he is. The main object behind a case study is to observe the individual as a whole. Now comes to the psychological test. Psychological test, which is also known as the mental measurement or psychological instruments, psychometric test, inventories, rating scales, are standardized measures of a particular psychological variable such as personality, intelligence, or emotional functioning. They often consist of a series of questions that subjects rank as true or false or according to a Likert type scale. Agreed, somewhat agree, like this. Okay. However, test can use written, visual, or verbal methods. Now our next topic is technique of guidance. First comes to the observation. In this technique, behavior is studied through observation by a trained observer. The effectiveness of the technique depends upon the skillfulness of the observer. The observer is expected to observe well defined behaviors free from biases and prejudice. Observational techniques are useful in the study of students and individuals, but their usefulness depends upon the manner and purpose with which they are conducted. Next is sociometry. The purpose of this technique is to study the nature of social relationship of individual within a group. It offers an opportunity to identify personality problems, especially in isolates and the rejected. Isolates are the students who remain alone with no relationship in their class, and rejected students are disliked by other students. Okay? So the technique is a useful source of information for appraisal of social behavior of students. Next comes to the interviews. An interview is a conversation with a purpose. The purpose for which interviews are arranged are introductory, fact-finding, evaluative, informative, and therapeutic in nature. Another characteristic is the relationship between the interviewer and the interview. The occasion should be used for friendly informal talk. The interview should be allowed to talk in a permissive atmosphere with confidence and freedom. Okay, so these are the techniques of guidance, and now comes to the techniques of counseling. First comes to the problem solving techniques. It is a creative process by which individuals evaluate changes in them and their environment, make new choices or adjustment in a harmonious manner. Next is the discussion technique. In a discussion class, the group focus on the common problem, helps them extend and deepen the problem, brings whatever resources he may have to attack, and finally helps the group recognize when the problem has been solved as well as the further implications of the problem. Discussion needs competence among members of communication skills. Next is the role playing technique. It is a technique used in counseling for developing skills and insight in an individual by acting out situations which are pan real life problems. It takes the form of psychodrama or sociodrama. Yes, it will be which are parallel to real life problems. Parallel to रियल लाइफ प्रॉब्लम्स. ठीक है, ये जो लिखा गया ना, इट मीन्स विच आर पैरेलल टू रियल लाइफ प्रॉब्लम्स. Okay, so now comes to the lectures. Our next point is lectures in techniques of counseling में. Lectures delivered by experts can impact counseling in an effective way. Case conferences. In these techniques, problems faced by majority are discussed as a case. It gives experience in social thinking and has positive and unique values in the teamwork. Operant conditioning. It is a technique of conditioning the behavior of a person. It is believed that if new behavior is rewarded, then old behavior itself gets ignored. Now comes to the group guidance. Group refers to the collection of people, interaction between individuals, development of shared perceptions, the development of affectivities, and the development of interdependence of roles. For example, many students and teachers at one school may gather together to form a group. Group guidance encompasses those activities of guidance which are carried in a group situation to assess its members to have experiences desirable or even necessary for making appropriate decisions in the prevailing context. In a more specific term, it is guiding the individual in a group situation. Group could be of any type, but for guidance purpose a group should have a common goal. Just collection of individual may not be called a group for organizing guidance activities. Selection of group members will have to depend on sharing a common problem, volunteering to be members, and willingness to group activities. Okay, first is the information regarding higher education prospect, occupational opportunities and vocational preparation, leisure time activities, and social and civic conditions. ये सारा information लेना है. Next is the experience in cooperative living leading to the development. That is interpersonal skills, good sportsmanship, understanding to the self and other, and the social skill. Okay, third point is the development of individuals' abilities and interests through its participation in group projects, organization of students' initiated activities, special services and programs in schools and other institutions. Okay, so now comes to the group guidance techniques. In the group guidance technique, our first point is the career talk. The career talk is one of the method of providing career information to the students of the group through lectures, seminars, talked by the professionals in the field, and other symposiums related to guidance services. Various information collected by students from different printed materials, books, and pamphlets do not serve the practical purpose of guidance service, so that the interaction made by the students with professionals who are actually on the job provides effective and practical impressions on the students. Okay, next is the career conference. Career conference is organized to invite certain experts and experienced persons from vocational setup to suggest about vocational plans, choices, and careers to the students, those who are involved in these activities. Next is the case conference. In the case conference, problems faced by majority of the students presented before all. Each student is encouraged to present his way of dealing with problems. Then, through discussion of individual cases, a line of action is initiated to solve the problems, as a result of which each member of the group learns how to solve his own problems from others' experience regarding it. Next is the committee reports. The students involved in the group guidance are divided into various groups or committees to discuss the problem or various problems from different angles and visions. Then they are advised to prepare the present their report in groups. Maximum freedom is given to the students to express their views and suggestions in the context of the problem. It helps students to gain knowledge and awareness about the problems and its solutions. Next is the group visits. Sometimes the students are encouraged for group visits to particular significant work sites or places having geographical importance or education institutions to gain direct experiences about the occupation and the place or institutions. Then they are immediately advised to meet for conference to discuss and clarify what they observed or what doubts they are having about that visits. Next is this is the last point, that is audio visual aids. Audio visual aids like films, slides, film strips, pictures relating various occupations, posters and charts showing importance of curricular choice, and pamphlets regarding other courses and vocational informations, etc., can be prepared, organized, and displayed in an exhibition to provide all the information which would be helpful to students to prepare for solving the problems of educational situations, vocational setup, and personal life. Yes, so this was the last video of semester 4, बिकॉज semester 4 हमारा यहाँ पे कंप्लीट होता है. ये ऑप्शनल पेपर था, गाइडेंस एंड काउंसलिंग. आधे लोग के ऑप्शनल्स होंगे गाइडेंस एंड काउंसलिंग, आधे लोग के टेलरिंग होंगे, किसी के कुछ किसी के कुछ. ठीक है, जो भी है, जिसके भी है वो आप लोग देख लीजिएगा. एंड मैं चारों पेपर, फोर्थ सेमेस्टर के जो चारों पेपर्स हैं उन सबके नोट्स, सॉरी हाँ, नोट्स तो मैं डाल ही दी हूँ. उन सब के क्वेश्चन पेपर्स भी मैंने यूट्यूब पे डाला है, कुछ मैं डाल रही हूँ अभी. ये आपको नेक्स्ट वीक तक पूरे के पूरे क्वेश्चन पेपर्स मिल जाएंगे. और मेरी जो टेलीग्राम चैनल है, टेलीग्राम आईडी में मैंने ये जो चारों क्वेश्चन पेपर्स हैं उन सब के PDF भी डाली हूँ. आपको वहाँ से क्वेश्चन पेपर्स मिल जाएंगे. ठीक है, आई होप ये सारे वीडियोस जितना भी मैं बना रही हूँ आप सबके लिए हेल्पफुल हो, B.ed स्टूडेंट्स के लिए हेल्पफुल हो. और ये सेमेस्टर 4 स्टूडेंट्स, ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट फॉर योर एग्ज़ाम. फाइनल है, अच्छे से दीजिएगा. इवन लेसन प्लान्स भी मैंने डाला है, तो आई होप सो लेसन प्लान्स भी आपके लिए हेल्पफुल हुआ हो फोर्थ सेमेस्टर के स्टूडेंट्स के लिए. अगर ये हेल्पफुल है तो एटलीस्ट मुझे कमेंट करके आप बता सकते हो कि येस वीडियोस वॉज हेल्पफुल और लेसन प्लान हेल्पफुल था करके. इतना तो आप कर ही सकते हो. येस, वन मोर थिंग, सेमेस्टर 4 तो अपने कर रहे हैं. अगर ये वीडियोस आपके लिए हेल्पफुल है देन प्लीज़ लाइक दिस वीडियो and subscribe my channel and share this videos with your juniors, because semester 4 अब आपका हो गया ख़त्म. सेकेंड ईयर अब आप जा रहे हो, अब आप टीचिंग के लिए जाओगे तो एटलीस्ट याद तो करोगे ना कि ये नोट्स मैंने वहाँ से लिया था. DG लर्निंग ने मुझे नोट्स प्रोवाइड किया था, एटलीस्ट बोलोगे तो. आई होप आपका जर्नी अच्छा हो, सेमेस्टर 4 के रिजल्ट्स काफ़ी अच्छे हो आपके. एंड ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट फॉर योर फ्यूचर. आगे जहाँ पे भी जिस स्कूल भी आप ज्वाइन करेंगे, वेरी गुड. चलिए, विल मीट आफ्टर सेमेस्टर 4 आई थिंक सो. सेमेस्टर 2 का मैंने बस एक ही पेपर कंप्लीट किया था, बाकी के नोट्स बचे हुए हैं, तो मैं इसके बाद मैं उसी पे लग जाऊंगी. फिर सेमेस्टर 2 के भी नोट्स कंप्लीट करवाना है आप लोग के. ठीक है, सो मैं फिर आपको वो प्रोवाइड करूँगी. आई होप सो सारे वीडियोज़ आपके लिए हेल्पफुल हो. Thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you.